also wondering if the BBC is aware that one of the first applications of GAGUT was the solving of the supermaneuverability problem of the warplanes for the Pentagon or the U.S. Department of Defense, designed for the protection of NATO nations, which includes England. See the following attachment for the cover page of the Pentagon report entitled Final Technical Report, Optimum Aeroelastic Characteristics for Composite Supermaneuverable Aircraft.
Hey, Professor.
Yes?
I read that. I read that you got, it's about 125 pages, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I read it. You talk a lot about wings in it.
That's right.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's right. So, yes. Okay, so with Professor Oyibo as the principal investigator, the research was funded by the Air Force Office of Scientific Research, AFOSR, and the grant number is 890059. One of the Pentagon's departments that are beneficiaries of the research work is the air defense, which includes the missile defense systems. You can see their stamp of approval on the top left corner of the page. That research work was recognized by the Defense Technical Information Center, DTIC, a highly respected part of the Pentagon, as one of the highest research contributions to the defense of the United States and NATO countries. You can see the DTIC selection recognition stamp in the bottom of the enclosed title page for the report in the attachment. That shows that GAGUT has contributed to the protection of the BBC and proves that any BBC editorial board tenets of independence that ignores GAGUT can safely be considered as wrong and even suicidal. And we have noticed how the BBC decision to ignore GAGUT has contributed to the rise of President Putin of Russia, together with the threats NATO has received from Russia during the last recent years. Furthermore, in 2007, mathematical physicist Professor Krishnan Dasgupta from Jamia Millia Islamia University, a top 20 university in India, concluded that Professor Oyibo is closer to God than any of us. I've been blessed by God with the revelation of GAGUT. See Professor Dasgupta's letter attached. So it can be clearly seen that ClayMath is ignoring of the G2J solution to the Riemann hypothesis, together with the other 6 GAGUT GIJ solutions to the other so-called 6 toughest math problems listed by ClayMath, is a necessity for ClayMath to fraudulently justify their existence, which constitutes a crime against humanity, which the BBC should be investigating publicly, with the purpose of stopping that crime against humanity. Such an endeavor by the BBC, which would require the BBC to publicly investigate GAGUT by arranging televised debates and challenges of GAGUT by as many mathematicians as possible, similar to what was done by Nigerian government in 2004 during the global review of GAGUT, which would be considered a valuable service to humanity, or a simple interview of Professor G. Oyibo by the BBC that hardly cost BBC any money at all, could help humanity. In addition, such an endeavor will provide the BBC with an opportunity of repairing the huge damage of its relationship with the black people globally as a result of BBC ignoring the GAGUT revelation by God to Professor G. Oyibo for over 25 years. Our suggestions of action items to the BBC are only what we believe BBC needs to do in the minimum to convince humanity that BBC is not anti-GAGUT and hence anti-God, since GAGUT is the God order which has proved to be infallible by GAGUT. We are therefore led to the understanding that any BBC excuse for not doing a broadcast on GAGUT, G2J, the only solution to Riemann hypothesis constitutes BBC collaboration with the Clay Math Institute to plagiarize GAGUT and the GAGUT G2J solution to Riemann hypothesis, which we consider to be a very serious mistake of the BBC. God bless you. That's basically the response to the Clay.